I play Minecraft to build worlds. Having just a base has never appealed to me. I don't want something just plopped on top of a hill and that's it. Then you walk away and it's just plain Minecraft again. Here we do things differently. My goal is to build an entire medieval fantasy world full of interconnected civilizations, but the land between the buildings is just as important to bringing in the life. Today, I am transforming this entire mountain from the default snowy slopes to my own vision, with over 300,000 blocks needed to complete the build. This all needs to start somewhere. In order to build the new mountain, I need to shave off a lot of the old mountain landscape, which first I want to start by removing every single tree. What I thought would only take about 40 minutes turned into over 3 hours of tree chopping, as I tried to save all of the spruce leaves because I want to build some custom trees back on top later. Before we move forward, I should mention, I actually planned out this entire mountain in creative mode on a live stream a while ago. If you want to see the Axiom process start to finish, it's linked in the description. That is going to save me many hours, as I know the end result, so now we can mold the current mountain. Instead of needing to clear cut the entire mountain down, then rebuilding it back up, we can just shave away the parts that I don't need anymore to make space for building the new mountain and placing all of those new blocks down. At the same point, we're also gathering a load of materials I need for the rest of this thing. But in a similar note, this took forever and I'm already 6 hours into this video. Oh wait, no, make that 8 hours. And to make it even more annoying, there is powdered snow up here that needs to be removed, which is done most easily with water, and of course I flooded the village below. But another quick 2 hours of mining on the northern slope, we can finally play the game. Which game, you asked? The resource gathering game, one of my favorites. I need over 300,000 blocks for this dang thing. So I started by pulling out what I already have in my storage rooms and placing them down at the castle on the mountain to set up a little base camp. Thankfully, I have all of the grass blocks and dirt blocks I need for the mountain, which is a big bulk of the lower areas. And I use pale moss for a lot of texturing on the slopes to save on tough, since it's easy to farm in the background while I do other things in the area, like picking up acacia logs and pale oak logs, as yes, they make great stones. What also makes great stones is, well, stone, which I place down up top with the growing monster and then grab some basalt, andesite, and diorite. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough andesite, but I remembered you can craft it with diorite and cobblestone. So that saved me needing to mine out an entire shulker of the stuff. Then we had plenty of gravel and sand, so I made a shulker box of light gray concrete powder and set all of my new boxes down at the mountain monster before continuing on with the grind, where we have everything looted from my storage rooms and I need to mine. I need 2 shulker boxes of tough blocks and about 1.5 shulkers of cobbled deep slate. So I started on the deep slate, hoping to find some tough blobs in beacon range. Our cobbled deep slate is now completely done, and I didn't find a single tough block. Rough luck at that. I'll deal with the tough blocks later, as I need 2 shulker boxes of light gray terracotta too, and that just sounds easier first. So I flew out to the mesa and found a spot where it spawns naturally. I set up a small beacon, as we only need haste 1 and efficiency 5 to insta-mine it, and got to work. While I was mining in the mesa, I decided I would just find a new cave for tough afterwards, and then remembered when digging up the river, I uncovered a massive pit that went all the way into the deep slate layers. So breaking into the river, I set up a beacon below and mined up a bunch of blobs of tough. Crazy that this is nearly everything we need for the mountain itself, outside of just like the details, the trees, the snow layers, and that's gonna be for later, as one, I need an entire new snow farm for it, and placing blocks sounds a lot easier than having to build a redstone farm right now. I'm 12 hours in, my brain is mush. We need to start simple, which means a ton of grass blocks and working from the bottom of the hill towards the top of the mountain. Trying to get in the base shapes, as I like the layout we had here already. I just don't want the snow this close to the city anymore, so we can push it back up the mountain by replacing it with our grass blocks. And before I go crazy, I need to draw a line somewhere in the mountain, so everything to the left of this line right here will not be done today. I've already got one entire mountain I need to do. I definitely don't have time for a second, even larger peak. The grass covers a big bulk area of the landscape, so it's very easy to place in first. The rocks will come in after. I tried to push the snow level up a little bit more to match the mountain on the far side of the city so that everything comes together. The inspectors also showed up to make sure everything was up to code for the landscape. So before we get any actual complaints submitted on this one, I'll start adding in all of the rocks down in this lower section, working with every single different block that we just gathered up. Here's a tip for the Lightmatica hackermans like myself. When making your schematic, go into Area Editor and change your selection mode to normal. Then you can create sub-regions for your schematic itself. Now, back in the hardcore world, you can see the full resource list, and it's a little scary. Go into schematic placements, configure, and you can turn off everything except the point you're working on. Refresh your resource list, and yeah, that's a lot nicer to look at. Much better. That type of tech helps me so much with working through these larger projects. One of the main things stopping me from wanting to build in my world is getting overwhelmed with choices and too many things to juggle at once. So clearing down to a smaller task really helps me with continuing to evolve the world. Burnout is a real thing that affects all Minecrafters, even myself. You all see the big fancy final projects come together like this video, but not the multiple hours that go into the work behind the scenes. So I have learned that being efficient in what I do really helps me continue to move forward. This is looking pretty great already. We've got space for, will probably be a waterfall coming down here into the pools as we continue to expand the mountain up, and it's wrapped all the way around to the far side of the city behind our vineyard, which I love where the mountain is moving, but all this open space in the middle is more apparent than ever. We've got a side mission of needing to complete the city wall. Not to give you a mission as well, but did you know Mother's Day is just around the corner? Wait, don't panic. Today's sponsor, Holscairn, is here to help. Whether you want to get a gift for the motherly figure in your life, or heck, even if you want to treat yourself as you've earned it, I'm sure, look no further. Holscairn is an Austrian family-owned company specializing in watches and jewelry all made from natural materials, meaning each product is a true one-of-a-kind piece. You can see how nature has shaped each element with its own unique story. I got myself the Nightbird watch crafted with genuine maple wood featuring a dial in a black and white color palette with a unique nocturnal themed piece. As a treat for my wife, with the sunshine finally coming out here in Seattle, we got her the panoramic necklace with a bright white pearl and gold palette she absolutely loves. And for my mom, well, she watches my videos, so I can't really say otherwise, it would spoil the surprise. So sorry, Mom, you have to wait until Mother's Day. But the rest of you don't have to, as Holscairn offers free express shipping worldwide with products arriving in 3 to 5 business days, and US custom fees are fully covered. Enjoy a 2-year product warranty with your purchases while you get your Mother's Day shopping done early by clicking the link in the description and use code fWhip to get 15% off your order. I hadn't planned to build up the final section of the city wall with this mountain. It just seems like the right thing to do right now, so I had to make a few more trips around to gather materials for the brown and red walls of the city with diorite and deep slate for the tops. We'll have 2 new tower additions coming in, so I need some more spruce, mangrove, and jungle in place to complete those major elements of our build. Then I'm also gonna need some bricks, and well, I'm broke, so I looted as many pumpkins and melons as I could from my farm and headed over to the new farmer villager trading hall I had just finished building to get as many emeralds from them as I can. Thankfully, that was a big success, so I jumped over far to the east to the new stonemason trading hall to purchase bricks from them with my newly acquired emeralds, finishing off the final needed materials. Then plopping down a measly 3 shulker boxes of materials, we can get to work. On the corner overlooking the quarry, I want to mimic the large tower from the other side to give it a more opposing and grand entrance as we enter into the side gate of the city after nearly 4 years building this place. To connect into the mountain, I extended a wall and the final tower sticking into the mountainside itself with a diorite trim for the battlements, before grabbing all of my wood and deep slate to add in the tower tops with the exact same style I've used throughout the rest of the city wall. Of course, we need to throw in a flag for the city path right here on the front for a pop of color. That has been a long time coming. Yeah, look at that, just straight across all the way in there. That's really cool to have that in. That's a really cool moment. Next, we need to wrap up the northern slope of the mountain where this happy gas just wanted to be involved so much throughout the building process, and wow, they actually make so much noise, it's kind of insane. I was able to fight through all of that noise and finished up the top end of this peak and part of the snowfield. The top is going to be getting much taller at this side when we're done, but I'm really enjoying the look that we have so far. I also love the little detail where I can see just the top of the castle through this bit of a valley here, a crevice, but I have no idea if that's going to stay. I'm going to need some water buckets for our next step here, as I love my mountain streams, so I want to introduce another one in here, and this hopefully should work to flow down properly all the way. Oh no, there's a hole there. Pale moss, that works. I do want to come in here and bring in some more of our water to fill in these pools, so it's going to continue flowing down if I do that. And then we probably need one more, and now it should flow. Right, ice is up here. Okay, next step before we do the next one, I need my ender chest and bone meal before this whole thing freezes over, and we can just bone meal around the edges and we shouldn't get any ice spawning in those places. Crisis averted. That should do the trick up here. And we've got one more pool right down here before it cascades into the main part. And we could just do the same thing right here, where I don't think this is a snowy biome, so we should be fine. But just to be safe, since I have it on me, we'll just throw in a little bit of bone meal around. And now, very importantly, we have water coming all the way down into this pool that flows into the canal, going all the way out to the main river in the city harbor. Transitioning to the outside face of the mountain, it's finally time to work on the valley. Since I started this world 4 years ago and built up this castle, I've wanted a pathway leading through the valley, and it's finally time. The first problem is I cannot get a horse through here at all. So as much as I hate to do it, we need to shrink this field down just a touch with something little like that. Oh geez. Forgot I did this. Let's just add in the coarse dirt here to expand it, and that looks much better for horsing. I'm gonna start by throwing all of my mountain building blocks and random little ice bits I've picked up back here into the chest that we have. Well, shulkers, and then we can also take the empty shulkers that I no longer need and throw them in here so I can start to shrink this down a bit. For the mountain pathway, I need to grab a few things. I decided mainly coarse dirt will work here, and then using some inspiration from hiking trails I've been on IRL, I want some logs in the path to show that it's been like reinforced over time. The current idea was to bring the land out a touch and flatten it to look like the path was almost carved into the mountainside long ago. And finally, we have a new way to reach the river and villages on the southern side without needing to go around a giant mountain. After that, I realized all of the fields down here have been absolutely torn apart by mobs jumping around forever, so I spent a little while retilling and replanting in the fields so that they're just a little bit cleaner looking. From there, we need to stop the new road from floating above the ground, meaning it's back to mountain building and the break is over, as the western slope needs to go up. With many rounds of picking up blocks from the shulker boxes, I'm roughly clearing an inventory every single Minecraft day in game, which is pretty good. My rate of blocks placed per hour is going up, and that's great, as I'm getting roughly 10,000 blocks placed down on the mountain per hour as we work through the cliffs. That is great and all, but the grind of this project is still insane. I'm well over 20 hours into this build so far, and I'm not nearly close enough to see the light at the end of the tunnel yet. We're still in the dark of many blocks need to be placed down, expanding the cliffs. Where I realized I completely forgot a block for the mountain to smooth out grassy areas, I love to include mossy cobblestone, and I never grabbed it originally, and I want to throw in some near the outpost, so I took a little break from building to go and grab some. As we bring in a lot of gray tones here, I don't want to lose the mountain outpost to all of the gray, as I think it's pretty important to have that popping out from the mountainside. Reaching the upper peaks, we've completed a lot of this area already, and next I want to catch up the south end by filling in the lower grassy areas for some variation to where the cliffs actually start. Mostly because if I just left it as a clean line along the bottom, it can tend to look really artificial. So adding these little changes where the grass goes up a bit, the stones might come down a little bit farther at almost random intervals can help this appear a lot more natural. This also works on the horizontal axis too, to help add interest by pushing the section back. It can give a more natural eroded look to the entire space. Until you see this. That is not natural at all. But more importantly, my new and improved completely intentional mob switch definitely seems to be working out really well down here. It's coming in real nicely underneath the build. If the bad guys spawn down there, they don't spawn on top, and it's so much safer. That's my excuse for not lighting up the inside of an entire mountain, okay? Deal with it. At this point, I want to put back everything that I have here, as we need to load up on a ton of grass, as we've got a ton of it to place in. And real quick, though, are there any? Yeah, there's some empty boxes in here. There's another 4 of them cleared out. About to be a load more. Oh, there's 10 left? Really? Come on. I am so ready to be doing anything else but placing blocks on this mountain right now, but we gotta keep moving as I have a hard cutoff. For some reason, I gave myself 2 weeks to build an entire mountain, and we're over a week in, and I'm not even halfway done. What you're seeing right now literally took me an entire day of working on the mountain to place in all of these blocks along the back, which is a bunch of good progress, and the mountain is starting to look very, very cool, but man, oh man, don't do this at home, friends. I just finished running around to patch in all of the holes where I missed placing a block or 2 on the back slope, and I think I got everything. So naturally, in about 3 weeks, I'm gonna find a giant spot that I missed. One thing I am super excited about, though, for the mountain is adding to the viewports of sorts that we're creating over here at the rain shrine. And yeah, look at that coming in. I need to get rid of those 2 trees. Every single archway of this almost creates a really cool picture frame that I want to just create something interesting along each of them, and I feel like the mountaintop over here is gonna completely hide that castle as it's gonna keep going up more. But dang, that right there is looking really good. All of that block placing did clear out another 4 entire shulker boxes for us, and I think what I want to do now is take all of the ones that I have and move them back up to the front so it's just easier to see. We're cutting down on a lot of the stone boxes. That's really, really nice. I still have to get probably reusing almost every single one of these boxes for snow layers, but that's fine. At least we got 4. I'm still putting off building that snow farm. Okay, back to block placing on the mountain. Wrapping around the back of the mountain, we can start to enclose the entire space, and we'll only need to go up, as I plan to stop at the snow plane on the backside as well, right behind the village, where I needed to jump inside for a quick night of sleep and didn't realize I was walking into this. One of the villagers did decide to climb the mountain itself, which is pretty cool to see nature returning to the mountains once the habitat is restored. We'll work on the forested area there soon, but first the peaks need to go up. I can't believe what I've been working on for the last 2 days IRL is gonna be about maybe a minute of content, maybe, for this video, because of how much block placing can I really show in one segment before it gets boring. Which is why, bam, jump cut, ha, something new. Yeah, look, snow. Yeah, I emptied 2 shulker boxes of it up here to start filling in the snow plains at the top of the mountain. And as per the usual, I forgot a few blocks. Underneath is getting so dangerous. I'm just constantly fighting zombies up here. It's so bad. But you know what? We need a break. It's time to plant a field. And I think it's a perfect time to relocate the sniffers here and build a field to finish off the valley. Plus, I am going to need some spruce fences later, so this is resource gathering. These 2, however, I need to grab myself some leads. Oh, I forgot I made a death trap here with sweet berries. We're gonna do this one at a time. Come on, buddy. Come on. No, please don't fly. Please, just, it's okay. You're almost through it. You're almost through the vineyard. Yeah, I know, it's a very deadly vineyard. You're so close. You're so close. Okay. I don't quite know where I want to put these 2 yet, so they're just gonna be here in the quarry for now. Oh, I feel so bad. Oh no, please live. Okay, it's alive. They can go there. This is a great reminder that even if you've done something already, we can still go back and change it and fix things up if a new idea comes in that can help further success of the entire project as a whole. Let this also be a reminder to subscribe if you haven't already. I'm trying to hit 2 million subscribers, and you might have been watching my videos for months without ever subscribing, so make sure you do so before YouTube pulls a Houdini and they disappear from your recommended tab forever. Our new and improved spot here, where I left in the archway as a little memento to what was here before, and I think this torch flower field, also a memento to our sniffers, fills in the space much better. But now, what the heck do I do with these 2 sniffers? They are the original ones that I ever got in this world, so it feels weird just dropping them off in the ranch. Yes, I do in fact have an entire ranch of sniffers, and I love them so much. Before we jump back into peak mountain building, I need to make a quick trip down into the nether, as all 3 of my elytra are very busted. We can visit the Wither Skeleton Farm. Yeah, that was down to 49 durability. That wasn't lasting much longer. Okay, time to fix everything up. Yeah, I still love this thing. Now that we can fly for a long time, it's time to get to work on the peaks. One final push through building the peaks of this mountain, and we can finally close out this stage of the project with a majority of the blocks being placed down, bringing this mountain up to a higher level than it's ever been. And somehow I miscounted how much wool I need, and I ran out. Thankfully, the sheep farm had a little left over, so I grabbed that to hopefully have enough, which turned to work out to finish off everything for the main peak itself. I need 2 shulker boxes of snow, and we are completely out right now. Yeah, that's not 2 shulker boxes of snow. I have a really, really bad Wither Rose farm set up at the exit portal at the end. We might have snow in it. Yay! We do have some snow. Is there any more? Yes! 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 Yes, 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 yes. Crisis averted and back to building to finally finish off everything up top. Completing stage 2 of this project, which we could call a completed mountain, but no, it's me. We still have over 100,000 blocks to place on. Okay, like 80,000 of that is snow layers, but like still, it's a lot. And we're expanding the mountain for today. As I was looking at this line in the ground here that we have, and it's very, very rough. And I realized the thumbnail that I'm kind of thinking of for the project as a whole can see about out to that rocky section there. So I want to push the mountain back that way as we need to expand east. For the thumbnail, okay? It's gonna be worth it. It takes a little work off future fWhip's plate for that disgusting mountain. That means it's back to digging, as I need to tame back the current mountain area to make room for some more of the custom range I've already planned out, so it should hopefully not be totally awful to implement. You know when you're digging at an area and you go, yeah, it's small enough, I don't need a beacon, and then you keep going and you're like halfway through and you're like, oh yeah, I should have done that. Yep. That was me for the last hour. Good news though is I did refill a shulker and a half of snow and for an entire shulker box of stone blocks too. Next up, I want to get a lot of the easy stuff done here, so we're just going to take all of the grass that I can and just place it in over most of the snow, to be honest. I'm just really hoping I actually have the materials I need for this thing. The grass is all placed in, and now I just have to hope that I have enough leftover blocks from building this whole side to actually do that. I realized I way over gathered everything. Well, I'm out of wool again. Saw that coming. Another quick trip to the wool farm and we can finish up this new expansion to the mountain range going east another 30 or so blocks, which actually is going to even this out from the front and back for how far we go. Oh, and yeah, I just now realized that. With all the materials I picked up digging out the space, I could actually craft all the snow layers I needed, so I threw those in next. But I'll be honest, I can't tell if it looks better or worse with this even more obvious wall at the end of the terrain that we've worked on versus what still needs to be done. I'm just gonna focus on this for now. This looks great. Boy. Oh well. The snow layers are in and I can't wait for that to cover the entire mountain. First, I want to build trees. We have these on the back of the mountain already that I randomly threw in before while building the castle, which a few I'm seeing now are randomly floating after the landscaping, so we'll fix that. And I want to expand the forest back here with a few new trees I've just designed. For that, I need to grab a few of the empty shulker boxes, put all of my mess back, and go gather a bunch more stuff. First up, stopping in the market to spend the day picking out the best leaves for my trees, and then as night fell, I jumped inside the quarry to pick up a ton of walls to use for tree trunks. I also need nearly 500 dark oak fences, so we need to do a quick tree chopping session in the different forest so that I can continue building up my new, better forest instead of the stupid default Minecraft forest here. Logs acquired and a quick round of crafting in the lumber mill, and we're good to go with just another 4 boxes. Why is this starting to feel like almost nothing for me? That might be a problem in itself. But what is not a problem is the trees here along the back, as we can add in a ton of the pine trees I used before on the mountain with a few newer variants added in as well to mix it up a touch. This is looking great for the forest canopy itself. I'm not really worrying about the ground layer too much today. The view from far away, however, is starting to look really good with the trees almost cascading down the mountainside, but from a distance, all the trunks still look fairly samey. And I've got an idea on how we can mix it up. Probably saw it in my inventory, and this is very much a trust the process moment, and hopefully I don't stab my feet too much. But I want to use pointed dripstone here as a tree trunk. Where the unfortunate part is nothing can connect to the pointed dripstone too well, so I've got trapdoors here to look like little branches sticking out. But if we come down here, that looks like a pretty cool tree. And more importantly, from a distance, the shading on the pointed dripstone actually makes it look a little bit rounder. Where is it? It's a bad angle. And also looks a little bit thicker. I think this is a really, really cool way we can add to just pine forest with a touch more detail with these. I added another 3 of the dripstone trunks in the back here, and I think it helps a ton. We could spend many hours on this plot of the mountain here, but I am running low on time, so I need to jump to the front side as I don't want to neglect that. So we can yet again set up base camp right over here, grab myself some more rockets and a new elytra as mine is pretty broken again, and take a little schnoozle. Oh, I love this view. And get back to work on building up even more of the trees. Taking inspo from the Cascade Mountains near where I live, I added in a group of aspen trees for something other than pine trees. I think it's also about time to remove these old spruce trees right here. They're just a very old custom tree style that I just don't really enjoy anymore. We'll replace them all eventually, but for now, they just gotta go. And build up some of these new, fancier spruce trees I've learned how to design recently. Of course, a few more trees in the valley going up to the castle works as well. Add another 3 trees in over there, and from here we can take our snow layers where I've got just under 2 shulker boxes to go and see how far that can take us. I was gonna do a time lapse because I was like, I got 2 shulker boxes, I can make it so far, and I got there. 2 shulker boxes almost of snow layers. Oh no. Oh no. I don't normally show this, but look at the Lightmatica. All of the yellow needs to have more layers. All of the clear stuff needs to be layers. There's a lot more than just this spot. Okay, it's time for a new snow farm. Inside of the castle itself, I have this one down here, but it's not gonna cut it anymore. For starters, I have to manually craft and sort everything myself, which I'm gonna take these layers for now. And while I'm running the farm, it's just constantly overflowing. So sorry, my golem friends, it's time for a new one. Farm is completely gone, and hey, free emerald ore. One more beaconless digging session later, and a decent amount of the stone that I dug up, I can actually turn into some stone bricks for the build. But of course, I still have plenty more stuff that I need. We've done enough resource gathering today, so here's the wood, stones, and other stuff. I figured not only we should build up a farm, but we should also turn it into something nicer to visit, so I decided to turn this into a basement of sorts for the castle. We have a water stream going around with 2 areas set up, one for snow layers and one for snowballs to be auto-crafted into our blocks, and of course a redstone clock to run the entire system. It's almost time to drop our snow golem in here. He's going to be sitting right in this point. But first, I need to run around and set up the filters, and I'm just going to use some kelp. There's side 1. I think I can still squeeze to the second side through the redstone wiring back here. Nope, I can't. I'm going to flood everything if I break any of these blocks. Okay, there we go. Snowball, kelp. I designed this farm to loop around, so if I throw anything else inside, we should eventually see it coming back around here. So if we throw a piece of stone in, it'll zoom all the way around there, and then it loops underneath and eventually should pop out right here. Perfect. Now for my snow golem friend. Oh, well, I need you into there, not there. I'm where I need the golem to be. This is not working. All right. Sorry, buddy. Take 2. Oh, I could have got the pumpkin back. Ooh. Dang it. Okay, let's try this one more time. You just gotta be right in the middle. No. Before I do anything stupid, I want that pumpkin back. Now, yes, perfect. He needed to be in the middle because I've designed a machine here that if I turn it on, those pistons should fire. Yes. And now all I need to do is stand here and I can break both sets of snow layers in there and the items will just get plopped right down into the water stream. Oh yeah, we're snow farming now. Just gotta get 70,000 snow layers. I'm gonna build the rest of this place first. That sounds more fun. Something that at least gives a complete trip down to the farm location itself from the door. And now we can walk inside, opening up this door, head on through this entry room. It's got some nice wallpaper, and I might throw a bed or 2 in here as some benches, but we can go down the staircase into the farm room itself with our snowman over there, and we've got space down here as I need to be dropping a ton of shulker boxes. Well, that would block the barrels that this stuff gets sorted in, so these are just going to sit empty in here for now, or on top of the other boxes. That's easy too. Now I just need to flip it on and hold left click here for a few hours. No, I just tapped back in and I broke the shovel. Dang it. I made it through 4 of them completely safe, and my 5th Silk Touch one is gone, and none of those have Silk Touch on them, so I can't get any more right now. Okay, how did we do? Okay. Yeah, that's nice. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, right. Time to fill these. As the hoppers are clearing out behind all of the barrels, we've just about filled up every single shulker box. Look at that. That is 16 shulker boxes full of snow layers with almost a 17th. I think as I just sit here a little longer. There we go. That is fantastic. Placing snow layers by hand is one of the most annoying things to do in Minecraft, so I have decided for this, and only this, to use Lightmatica Printer. This is a mod that, with my Lightmatica schematic, will automatically place blocks in around me within normal placement range. So I did a test on a previous mountain, and it turned an area that took 2 hours to place down to 20 minutes to place, so my quality of life goes up drastically. I placed every snow layer I gathered up already, so it's time for another round where I threw Silk Touch on 2 more of my shovels, then jumped into the nether to repair up everything at the Wither Skeleton farm, to then sit and stare intensely at the shovel durability bar while I mined up some snow layers. Yeah, I broke another shovel. But we might have all of the snow layers that I need, as pretty much every single one of these is full minus these last 2. Plus the 5 stacks behind each of the hoppers. I think we're in business. Oh yeah, that is a lot of snow layers. And we still have more snow layers coming into the storage. Oh, I hope it's enough. Oh my god, it's done. I can't believe it. All of the snow layers are placed in, and just look at this. Oh, it's so cool with the big all smoothed out. Oh, it's amazing. And we have now placed 139,000 snow layers in this world. That's the 5th most used block I have in the game. That's a lot of snow layers. My plan was to turn this castle into the snow storage area so we could pick up the extra shulker boxes, head back inside to the snow farm, and I'm just gonna take all of this and put it back in the barrels. No part of me is worried about this being used, as I know with the other mountain projects, I've still got like 6 or 7 no, we're redoing that, no. Immediate stop. That was actually true. 650 to 750,000 snow layers. Yeah, we're gonna say that instead, because then there won't be any weird comments. Oh, it was completely accidental. I can't believe that happened. Since the worst is behind us now, let's go ahead and clean up everything in here and just throw it as a new shulker monster in front of my house. I've got other stuff to sort, so we might as well just do it all in one big bulk sorting session later, not right now. There we go. That is a much cleaner looking area out here, and got all that junk too. I feel so organized now. Now the worst is really behind us. And next up for the final block addition I need to the mountains, well, one of them, but we need white stained glass panes, as I like them in the heavily eroded areas to look like snow is sliding down those darker, more shadowed areas, and it hasn't really melted off of the steep faces yet. I also decided to build a little mine entrance where the storage was. This will be important for path in the future. Finally, we need to actually return life to the mountain. And I thought a wild herd of goats could be... Oh, can we get out of the bush? Oh, okay. Anyways, I just thought a wild herd of goats could be kind of cool on top of the mountain, just roaming around as they go. To move the goats, we're going to employ the help of the happy gas that I put in timeout over at this different mountain. This thing's so ridiculously slow. Can I just lead you and then do like a little... Yeah. You are going to be hooked right there. These 2 are ready to go, so I think we can just shift and... Oh, they just got zoomed over there. Okay, here we have baby goats 5 and 6. And my happy gas is leaving me. Oh, I hate these things. And we're off to drop the goats. Taking the slow flight back to the mountains with my goats, we can safely drop them here at the top. and break them out of their boats so they can live happily up here on the top of the snowy mountain. I've already lost one. I've already lost two. Nope, they're up there. Oh, nope, they're leaping. The goats are leaping. And you are going back into timeout over at that mountain. Nope, nope. Creeper. Oh, that was close. This completes the second mountain surrounding the city of Path. Finally, the snowy castle no longer sits next to a boring flat top of a default mountain, replaced with this. Something I have had in the back of my mind for so long to see this entire part of my world come together. Now on day 13,011, I can start to see the end of this region of the world. Still many hundreds of thousands of blocks to place, but man, oh man, I'm excited to see Path in all of its glory as we continue customizing this space. 2 mountains remain to transform, and 3 major spaces within the city itself. Not to mention far too many interiors than I care to admit that I am behind on finishing. But that's for future me. Current me can celebrate finishing the mountain behind us and being proud of what I've accomplished. Slowly, block by block, making this world into something that is truly just mine. Click the like button if you enjoyed, and please subscribe if you're new. With that, I'll catch y'all on the flip side.